Hello, my name is Caleb Bradley. This is experiment 9, and what I have before us today is the model sim code for a code that I've written using VHDL. So right here I have my demultiplexer 1 to 4. Let me just save that real quick. And then I also created a test bench for this code, which you can view on the screen right now. This is going to test all of the inputs and outputs of our multiplexer. So I opened model sim and I opened my file for my test bench. If I go to my project, you can see that I have both just the, I'm going to recompile this quickly so the outlet, everything is fine, because I haven't changed my code yet. So give that a moment, and now that's got a check mark. And so I have my test bench and I have my code for my demultiplexer. So I go to my simulation tab and see that I have my inputs and outputs here on the waveform. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to simulate this. I'm going to run this. I'm going to select simulate, run all. And you can see here, if I pop out this window, that, give it a moment, I'll just bring it over here since it has decided to do that. All right, so right now it's not showing everything, but I'm going to do zoom full, and you can see that my inputs and outputs are lining up correctly. This, whenever the demux went to 4, the code or the variable for this is my input. I just refer to this to make it easier. Let's just show up here. So yeah, right. Yeah. So my data in test bench input is up here. Whenever it's 0, all of my code shouldn't matter. No, the select input should matter because it functions as an enable in this instance. So all of my outputs are 0, 0, 0, 0. Maybe one too many zeros, but it's a 4-bit output. Then whenever the demux went to 4, whenever the data input is 1, then my selects show up, and you can see that the code is manipulated. My outputs change depending on the select inputs. And so now that we've seen this, I'm going to pop this back into the window. Then I'm going to move on to my demux 1 to 4 code, and I'm going to edit my code so that we can force an error, because we don't need to look at the transcript right now, because if we look down here, it says everything is fine. And I'll just make it a little bit bigger if possible. Not going to worry about that too much. And then I'll go back to my code, and then I'm going to change the value of my demux out for 2 of these, so you can see when I changed things. I'll put like a 0010 here, and then I'll put 0110 here. So I'll just mark that I've changed this. I've changed the values here and here. Change the values. All right, so I'm going to save my code. I'm going to go back to model sim. I'm going to go back to the simulate, and I'm going to end the simulation. Yes, I do want to do that. So now that we're back into this code, you're going to go here. You see that the check marks appeared. I'm going to recompile this, and let's see. There we go, check mark. Then we'll go back here. We'll open our demux 1 to 4 test bench, and it should open up. We don't have to recompile this code because it hasn't changed. And then we're going to make sure we don't have to move our waveforms into here, but I'm going to anyway. I'm going to move my inputs and outputs, and then I'm going to go to simulate, run all, or well, actually I'll start a simulation first. Oh, never mind. We already have it set up here, so might as well continue. And we'll run all. And down here, in this code down here, I'm going to just pop this window out. We are going to check what it says. If you look down here, we have errors in the test vector 4 and test vector 6. So this is for the inputs 1, 0, 0, 0. So if we go over here, if we go back to the code in Cordis, because it's looking at these 2 values. This is technically test vector 4, and this is test vector 6, because in my test bench I have my my array set up so that this is row, or all there's 0 input data in test bench values, they come first. So this is test vector 4 and this is 6. I'll be sure to put code there later so it lines up, or I'll put a comment there. So as you can see here in the transcript, I have, since this is no longer equal to 1000, and this is no longer, or actually no, this is no longer equal to 0001, and this is no longer equal to 0100. Instead, in my code in Cordis, we have 0010 and 0110 here. It throws the errors at me. And this concludes Lab 9's video.